Welcome everyone to another episode of TKMR Hatena. It's been, wow, a really long time since our past, or previous episode.
It was at least last year.
Yeah, that's very true. It was last year. So it's been at least a year since we've done our last recording. But we're back, and we're here to bring you not so much the latest threads, because some of these are kind of old, but they're still funny, and they're still kind of trolly, so just not so recent anymore. And they're still packed full of rumors. Or some of them are, anyways. So without further ado, let's get started. Oh, in the studio today, we have Bex.
Yo.
And Turbos86 from everywhere.
Oh, hey.
The regulars. So with that, let's get started. Our first topic for today is Mono Nofu. Yay!
What?
Tofu.
What?
Nofu.
Sounds like tofu.
Kind of does sound like tofu. So what happened was for the Mono's recent single and her last single before she graduates, Next Myself, she was doing her set of normal promotions for the song before it released. And this was back in December. I believe the song came out on the 15th or something, so this is actually a little bit dated, but still funny.
Cool.
And so, as you know, when the Hello Girls release songs, all of the major music stores like Tower Records, HMV, Tsutaya, they all put up a little small section for the artists for their CDs and like new signs saying like, oh, check out this new song from Color Project or whatever. And so for one particular chain, HMV, which is actually a really big chain, so it's not something you would expect to happen, but check out this sign on the screen. I noticed the circled spot. So the sign basically says, Mano Erina, Next Myself, Mano's last single as a part of Color Project. And this is like, and then it gives a small explanation of like, well, this single is where you, or like in this music video, you will see Mano Fure in the background. And if you remember the music video, they're in the back in the red t-shirts doing stuff as part of the music video, do things with the signs that spell out letters of something. But if you look at the circled area, it says Mano Nofu, which is whoever the person in charge of making the sign wrote that down instead of Mano Fure. So, while the effort, or I guess while the effort was kind of lacking, but while the intention there was good, to kind of, I don't know, connect with the wota or something by trying to use a non-common people terminology. And they tried to go for an ace with the Mano Fure, but that was a bit too hard for them, and they ended up with Mano Nofu. So now, for a week or two afterwards, all of the threads related to Mano, like her own support threads on Nichan, were saying like, so wait, when did we all become Mano Nofu now? Is that our like new name or something? Or when did I miss this meeting? What's going on?
Missed the meeting.
Yeah, it's like the Mano Fure Association is now Mano Nofu or something.
Mano Nofu. We're
Right
all
at the
Mano
end.
Nofu.
We are all Mano Nofu now.
Awesome.
So, I mean, like, when I first saw it, I thought it was like, it's kind of, if you take a big stretch to the imagination, it's kind of like Mano no Fure. It could be like that, except they missed a Fure, and Mano no Fure would be, it's still not right,
Still
and it's still
wrong.
kind of weird.
Yeah.
But they get like 1 point for trying. I don't know.
They got foo.
They got foo. Added a no in there.
I wonder though, you said that it would be a mistake by the company of HMF,
HMV.
It
of
should be.
HMV, obviously. I can't
Mano
read.
Nofu.
But wouldn't UFA actually supply the text for them?
That's interesting. I guess. Well, this is this description does not seem something that would be written by UFA though. This sounds It sounds this description sounds like someone searched up Mono Eddy on Wikipedia and then just kind of copied stuff.
Copy and paste.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's possible too, I guess.
Yeah, and plus it talks about some like special bonuses when you buy specifically at HMV. So I don't think this was. I mean, if it did come from or if it did come from UFA, and someone at UFA thinks Monofure are called Mononofu, then that's pretty sad.
That would be pretty sad.
It must be Esto.
Yeah. Or it's like Manatee getting her final laugh
Manatee.
before she has to transfer to Smilage or something.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that's it for that. It's kind of old, but kind of funny.
Okay. On to the next topic. Maybe draw your attention to the screen. We will show you a image. The image you are looking at is a sign outside of a an idol concert, not Hello Project. Well, you can read the English there. Says no high jumping, no otage, and do not take photographs. Well, the photographing is pretty obvious for most concerts in Japan. You can't do any filming unless you have permission if you're like a photographer for a newspaper or something.
That's pretty
But
standard.
Yeah, but the no jumping and the no otake thing is kind of new. At certain venues, because of the maybe because of how the venues design, the grounds are flat all the way to the end, and that's understandable that they don't want people jumping, so the people in the back has no chance of seeing the stage.
Right.
That would make sense. But
Yeah,
the
but
no
they could jump as well.
well, yeah, okay, but then make the whole show look really stupid. It's just the whole crowd jumping up and down, like whack-a-mole.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Basically. Yeah. The no otage thing is kind of new. That is well, for otage you have to think about what actually otage is. I think by from the sign here they mean the full blown the whole the hardcore stuff, not just the they don't mean the yelling or clapping your hands up in the air.
Right.
Yeah,
They mean
just
the
those-
whole
all that
whole
stuff.
routine stuff.
Like the big motion stuff.
Yeah, with all the patterns
Right.
stuff. That's
Yeah, I could see.
new.
I guess.
So
Dangerous.
yeah, so all the Hello Project fans are getting a little bit worried that these kind of rules might migrate over to Hello Project concerts. Not that they do otages at the concerts anymore. That's so 2004.
Right.
But the jumping thing is what they're worried about.
They need their Oshi jumping, man.
That's how you catch the girls' attention.
It's how you annoy them and distract them during MCs.
Yeah, and they tell you to stop. Well, okay, Ellie tell you to stop. Everybody else they try to ignore.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. These kind of rules basically started 2-3 years ago by a couple of those anime seiyus who also sings.
Ah,
So they have anime songs concerts.
right. Those huge
And-
concerts.
Yeah, those ones. And those seiyus basically got annoyed by their own fans jumping and doing their own thing during their performances. And they told their companies to ban the fans from doing these kind of things at their concerts.
That's
So,
harsh, man.
Yeah, it is. They're your fans.
No.
They pay for your salary. So eventually it got migrated over to some of the lesser known idol groups, or the smaller idol groups, and then even AKB had some stuff that they banned during concerts.
Was that dependent on the venue, or is that like a generic?
I think it's a bit of both.
Okay.
Even for Hello Project, I don't
There was
remember
one.
if it was for Nakano or not at that time.
I think it
It was like
was.
it was
Nakano's
one time
something.
for
Yeah.
Nakano, but maybe they were doing construction or whatever. I don't know.
I don't
For
know.
some unknown reason, one show at Nakano they banned certain they limit how many glow sticks people could hold in their hand at one time.
Whoa, that's silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that makes a difference, but
But well, you know, Halo Project fans known to go overboard with how many glow sticks they can hold up
I
in the air
guess
at
that's
once.
true.
And it's no surprise people can somehow manage to hold up 50 sticks in the air at once.
But I mean, that sort of thing does look pretty cool on DVD.
Yeah,
It's probably annoying to
yeah,
be around, but
it's cool to look at, but if you're standing behind them,
yeah,
yeah, good luck.
like someone with a fire wheel, and you're like, wow, really? Of all the seats they had.
Yeah, goodbye. So,
And that's just bad luck.
yeah, it is. Thing is, do you guys think Halo Project will adapt these kind of rules to stop what the fans are doing? You think
That's
they care?
I feel like say for the groups that aren't doing so well right now, like Smile Age and Berries, if they ever get to the point where like they're only doing like small venues like Zep, where it's like,
Yeah.
like no actual seat, it's like you're standing next to each other. It's like free for all open floor,
Like a rock concert?
like a rock concert, right? I think they would probably say like no otage, even though we don't even do that anyways. Well, maybe they might say it because of the Smile Age fans kind of do that sometimes.
Oh, like those Kansai people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them still do some crazy stuff, but for the most part, it's just jumping is like our thing.
Jumping and yelling,
Jumping
pretty
and
much.
yelling. I can't see them ever taking jumping, permanently. Maybe if like a venue like CC11 is under construction or something, then maybe.
Okay.
Seriously though, what are they planning on doing if they see like 5,000 men jumping up and down and they banned it?
They might
What
stop
are
the
they gonna
show,
do?
you know?
I mean, yeah, they could stop
Oh,
the show.
Yeah.
would they? Would they really?
The Japanese, they will. They would.
Wow, they're so hardcore.
Although if that happens though, that pretty much turns Hollow Project into AKB concerts. You just stand there and shout.
It just makes it no fun for a lot of
Yeah.
they just turns elsewhere where they're
Yeah,
still allowed to
that
do
makes a
these
lot of
things.
sense. Yeah, everyone goes to the smaller groups that are not in the major cities, and then you can still go crazy.
Do whatever you
Lucas.
want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Run.
Run. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like unless there's a really good reason, which maybe there is. Like it just happens to annoy one of the artists so much that they can't concentrate or something. Then doing it just to spite the Ota, it doesn't really seem like a good idea to me because it's not really harming anyone. And like if you think it bothers the people nearby in the audience, like everyone's doing it. So
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like a general, like unspoken rule or unspoken understanding between all the fans that attend that like some physical activity is going to happen and you should expect that if you're attending one of these.
I think if they suddenly adapt these kind of rules, people are not gonna get used to it. They've been all doing it for
Right.
all this time. So
Right.
if you suddenly introduce these new rules, they're not gonna
Right.
like it.
I mean, the
Yeah.
thing is, like, if you don't like that type of situation where you're all jumping around like crazy, then you can always do the family seats, and that's
Second floor.
Second
Yeah.
floor, yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Because there's no jumping allowed there anyway, so.
Unless you want to fall off.
yeah.
Yeah. Off the
Or
balcony.
break the
Or
stuff.
break of yeah, it could happen.
That'd be bad.
Yeah. Usually second floor is no jumping. It's a given.
Right.
They don't want you to fall.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they want to fall either.
True.
themselves.
Well, I've seen people at Shibuya X on the second floor in the back,
Oh, in
back
the
of the second floor.
Okay.
They jump, and then the staff don't really care.
Well, I mean, like if you're close to the ledge, then I don't think you should be jumping. Just
Yeah.
Out of common sense. But that's just me. I don't
It's true.
know.
All right.
All right. So that was interesting. Let's move on to On the topic of kind of otake and being at concerts, or that whole atmosphere, there was a thread earlier this week, actually, so a recent thread, talking, yeah, complaining about how there are too many king blades at concerts nowadays, and that kind of kills the concert atmosphere at Hello Project events. So to kind of, before we go into the thread, we're kind of going to give you a breakdown, because this was also described in the thread a little bit, the history of glow sticks for Hello Project specifically. It's very similar for the other idols, but they all have their own little evolution. Yeah.
Yes.
So it started with the chemical xylems that I'm sure everyone's aware of or have seen.
The normal glow sticks.
The normal glow sticks.
The snap ones.
The weak sauce ones. Nowadays, the weak sauce ones. Yeah. So everyone is probably very familiar with those. You probably even used them yourself at some point or another in life. But then kind of, the whole digital age got around, and eventually people... I mean, like, the wota community is mostly guys, and they're, on the slightly nerdy side, so they do like tinkering with things. That's just kind of like a hobby that you can naturally expect from this kind of audience.
Yeah.
So eventually they moved on to things that were brighter,
battery
powered. So they moved on to, one of the first things they switched to was this, like, huge baton-like glow stick. I don't remember if it has a specific name or not, but it's the one that's sold at Tokyo Hands. And if you were...
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I know how to describe it.
Oh.
Think at airport runways. those traffic controller guys on the ground.
That's exactly...
Those kind of batons.
Yes.
Glowing batons. Yeah. Or the cops on the side waving you by. Those ones.
Right. No, see, that sounds silly, but I remember that's actually part of the description of the wrapping of the glow stick when you buy it. Like, you could use it for like a party, or if you work as like a construction
work, yeah.
So anyway, so there's a huge giant baton things, and if you are a foreigner, like back around 2007, 2008, and you went over to Japan, and you didn't go by yourself, the first thing you were led to, because assuming you didn't have any previous gear, was probably to Tokyo Hands, and everyone made sure you bought a pair of those because everyone was using those. They were really bright at the time, at the time, and they were really heavy. It kind of balanced it out, but it's for a 2-hour concert, your arms start to hurt. You can really feel the burn. So it went on to that stage. That didn't last too long, actually, because from there we went on to, because it was so heavy, they went on to these smaller lights called cheer lights.
Cheer lights, yeah.
Yay! Those are pretty amazing. I don't know if you've seen them. They're like really small. They're maybe slightly larger than a pencil, or a pen.
That's pretty small.
Well, no, actually, it's more like the snap chemical size. So like same size.
Yeah. Okay. Lengthwise, it's about okay. Yeah. Okay. That's a better comparison. It's about the same size as the chemical. They only use two? No, they use
those really small batteries that aren't AA.
Yeah. I don't remember the number, but it's
like half the size of a AA.
Right, yeah, it's half size.
Yeah.
And it's like a twist-on kind instead of a button or a snapping or anything like that, or a switch. So the only problem with that is those aren't as bright as the heavy baton things. So eventually, Ota's got to self-modding, and they filled all these crazy cheer lights with like high-powered industrial-grade LEDs and all these
added buttons on there.
Added switch chips to like add color changing.
The reason that these were so popular because they were so small that like I mentioned the last topic, how some people can hold up 50 lights at a time.
Yeah.
Because they use these ones and they mount it to our plastic or metal frame. And they mount 50 of these onto the frame.
So if you ever see in the concert DVD footage, some guy with it's 10 in a row of like the small little sticks, that's a cheer light.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. The whole modding phase actually got pretty intense for it. Like, everyone was writing their own guides of all how to do all these different things and all these different components that you can buy to make yours unique from everyone else. That was kind of cool,
Right.
but at the same time, it was kind of pricey. So eventually, someone started to mass produce them, and that's how we arrived at the King Blade, which is kind of the topic of this conversation.
Well,
And-
actually, before King Blade,
what was before that?
there was the Sand Blades.
Oh, I forgot about the Sun Blades. Yeah.
The Sand Blades was the it's not evolution of the chair lights. It's more like
It's like a very
people-
refined.
it's like people it's like by that time when the chair lights got popular, LED started to become cheap, and all those flashlight manufacturers started making these dollar store cheap
Right,
um,
right,
handle flashlights that you can buy with a couple of LEDs on the top.
right.
And then
right.
people eventually found one that was really bright for like mountain hiking or something.
Yeah, it's really insane.
And they make adapters and put a plastic tube at the end. So they basically put a plastic tube with color films inside and mount it onto a flashlight, and they made that into a glow stick. The reason they call it Sand Blade because it's one of the most popular flashlight to use was called Sen,
Right.
flash in Japanese. So and that thing's a blade, so like a beam saber kind of thing.
Right. It's
So,
pretty cool.
yeah.
It's a lot brighter than the cheer light. It gets really hot though when you use it for a long period of time.
Oh yeah.
And so basically you evolved from modifying a cheer light to have custom LEDs to just straight up using a flashlight that already had LEDs built in it by a manufacturer, which was a lot better
Yeah.
and a lot brighter.
Yeah.
And this whole modding phase, which was really popular for a while, it was pretty fun actually to do yourself if you're kind of into that kind of hands-on thing. Is quite expensive, especially if you want to do multiple colors or multiple sets. The price can build up. So what happened was eventually someone started to mass produce something that is similar to a Sen Blade, which we got the King Blade. And so what that is, it's smaller than a Sen Blade. It's much lighter than a Sen Blade. Is it brighter? It's like close. It's not as bright, I think.
The normal King Blades are same as a Sand Blade.
Okay, but then there's like the X.
And the color changing
X10.
one is not as bright.
Right. So there's several different models of the King Blades. One of them is like a 10 color changing version.
Yes.
In case you have to get that DD in you and go to like everyone's event, so you can change colors easily. Or there's one you can just buy a single color. And for those, it changes like so that you aren't feeling lonely of buttons or whatever. You can change like the blinking pattern of it or whatever,
The brightness.
or the brightness, right?
Yeah.
So we have that, and we have the King Blades. It's a plastic base. It kind of feels like an upgraded cheer light, except mass produced.
Yeah.
But it obviously it's a lot nicer than anything you could hand make, unless you put a lot of money into each custom handmade thing, which is kind of not really worth it anymore.
Well, it's just easier for anyone to have one now.
Yeah. So King Blades really took on the market when it first came out really quickly, and everyone has started to accept them now. I'm not sure if they're the most common thing used.
They're pretty common.
They're
They're pretty
You'll
common.
see them.
I don't know if they're most common, but you see it in every concert video. That if all the glow sticks looks about the same size and shape, that's probably a King Blade.
They're catching on really fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really crazy the kind of the phenomenon that they started. But now we are kind of like, in my opinion, we're kind of still at the height of the King Blade fad, and already the next thing is coming out, which is really scary. And so this is still pretty new, but we're gonna drop this knowledge bomb on you listeners right here.
Is it nuclear?
It's almost nuclear.
Ooh.
So the next thing, which is otas who are obsessed with LEDs and glow sticks, are calling it the thing of 2013 is called
Oh
the
shit.
oh man, it's called the Colorful Thunder.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so
Oh, they got the name right.
yeah, it's so it's kind of like the King Blade. In fact, the body of the thing looks almost exactly like the King Blade. It's I think if you're not familiar with it, you probably could mistake the two.
Wow.
It's on sale again, mass produced. It's let's see, it's brighter than the King Blade. It's not like the handle isn't as nice to hold for long periods of time,
Oh.
but it is 2/3 the price of a King Blade, right? Or two approximately.
Deal.
Yeah. So if you want to look, if you're going to concerts coming up in the next couple of months,
Mhm.
Colorful Thunder. Google that. Look it up on Amazon Japan. That's your thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's your short history of glow sticks. Back to the topic though. So what happened was the King Blade thing became a really big fad, and almost everyone was using it because it makes it really easy now to become a DD. You don't have to buy glow sticks for every single color. You just buy one set of King Blades, change it to whatever color for whatever event you're going to.
Yeah.
And so, like we were just saying earlier, now like at every event, not every event, most events, you'll see like a large portion of people using these King Blades, and they'll just be like switching colors whenever they need to. And so what happens is also it kind of affects a lot of people kind of say it kills the I don't know, the mystique, the charm of what it meant to use glow sticks in the first place. And some people are like, I don't know, I guess they're really old-fashioned or something, but they really like the idea of using the chemicals, or like having one main pair of LEDs, but then when you need to use something for another color for another reason, you go back to the chemicals because you're not going to invest in a battery powered for another girl's color, because there were no multicolored functions back then. And so the biggest thing you see this at is birthday events. And yeah, so they're saying like, you know what, the King Blades have kind of killed birthday events now, because it's like, you know, first of all, everyone could switch to the color of that girl, whatever, for the birthday ceremony, but then immediately after, everyone switches back to their own color. So it's like, instead of a sea of whatever color of that girl is for like the entire time with the chemicals, it's just like for a little bit, and then everyone goes back to their Oshimen color, and then it's kind of not as cool anymore.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? It's kind of like, yeah, it's, you know, you don't get the full. Everyone has the same thing, and you have to use it because it's chemical.
Yeah, but it's more environmental.
It is more environmental. Yes, that's right. Very good
Eco.
point. It's very eco. Yeah.
I just like the clicking of the chemical so much that I probably would just use chemical. Whenever I break it, like, such a good feeling, and then you start swinging your stuff.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, with the battery power nowadays, it's hard to keep up though, because it's not nearly as bright unless you buy ultras.
Yeah, right. But they're cheap though.
They're like 100 yen, 150 yen each. It's not too bad. I don't know. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of discussions going on, like should we stay with chemicals for birthdays, or I don't know. Everything's kind of up in the air right now.
Right.
But I don't know. All I know is I'm definitely gonna be checking out those Colorful Thunders for 2013, man.
Thunders.
Gotta get those, man.
Well, I
Nuclear
already have.
powered.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Nuclear powered.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Almost like neon.
Everything
That'd be
glows green.
awesome. Wow, neon. Shit.
The problem with anything brighter than King Blaze are a lot of event outside of well, even with Hello Project, the staff doesn't like people having too bright of a glow stick,
Yeah, yeah.
and
That's
you might get in
understandable.
trouble at venues. And like I mentioned at those C-ute anime music concerts and other idols,
Right.
they have limits on the brightness, the size, and if it's homemade or not.
Right, right.
So they
Wow,
have a
C-ute
lot of
suck.
Yeah, there's a lot of restrictions on what you can use, and the King Blade fits into most of the rules of most kind of idols or say anime concerts, and yeah, they're within spec, so people just buy them because you can go to basically any event and be allowed to use them, and you just buy new batteries.
Yeah, they're pretty safe. Uh, Pretty universally compatible, I guess you could say.
So that's why they're so popular. The thing with the changing color though, that's really up to the person using it. Even if they still do the chemical thing for say like birthday events,
Right.
people can still like, oh, I'm done cheering for her birthday. I'm gonna put down the chemical and pull back my whatever color. They can still do that. So
They-
it's really the
that's
people.
true.
It's not the sticks that are to be blamed, I think.
But I mean, like maybe if you just cracked a chemical, I mean, you're probably not gonna put it down after like 5 minutes. Like you might keep it a little longer.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, it's kind of a waste to put down a chemical after you crack it for like one song.
I don't know. It's like less than $1, so I don't think
That's-
people cares.
That's true.
Mm.
It could be just how fans are nowadays, and they just want to go back to their color. So
The thing now with the fans are being DD is more accepted now.
yeah, definitely.
So people tend to not care, and
Right.
this is why the color changing glow sticks are so popular now because people need them.
Yeah. And they cover all the generic colors. Like one person on this thread, because I mean this thread was still whining about how people have king blades, and one
Yeah.
person was like, "Oh, I only bought them because it has the right shade of Reina's blue," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, that's
Oh yeah, that actually does make sense because
it's
like some of the more hard to come by color like Mahjong's whatever color she
right,
has,
right, the emerald, whatever."
Kingblade covers that.
Yeah,
So there's your excuse.
I guess I need to buy it because I need that color for my Oshi. So yeah,
Yeah, and the chemicals aren't gonna go anywhere anyway because Odas are gonna use them for their videos anyway, for their Oda Gay videos and all that stuff. It's mostly chemicals, so
yeah.
Well, and Hello Project still sells the chemical.
They still sell them, yeah.
nice.
But they
nice.
sell them like what, 300 yen each?
Yeah, that's like 300%
because of that
markup.
stupid handle, that squishy handle that doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
I don't, whatever.
Awesome.
I mean, yeah. I don't think chemicals are going anywhere in terms of like in the market, but in terms of seeing it at events and stuff, it's probably gonna die a
Yeah,
little bit off.
possible.
It's too bad.
That would
though.
suck. Yeah.
We don't
Where it
even notice them.
started.
They're so weak.
Yeah.
Unless you start banning people from, oh, we have to check your glow 6 lumens before you can go
Yeah,
in.
I mean, like everyone's gonna start setting it to low for the check, and then when they get inside the venue, set it to high.
Yeah, that's like no point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of that thread. It was just a lot of, the King Blade is so popular now. Like on the one hand, it's really awesome because it helps you be a fan really easily, but on the other hand, it's kind of taking away from the original charms of using glow sticks in the first place. It's kind of a balance. I don't know how. We'll see how it turns out this year.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. And on to our last topic of the show. Okay. From a while ago, this topic, like 2 months.
A little bit old.
Re-
It's okay.
Back in November, remember there was a Satoyama bus tour,
Yay!
but it was only a girls only event. So
Aw.
if you're a guy, you can't go. And
What if you're a
After-
female?
if you're legally registered as a female, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
well, they got lucky.
I
Then.
think we have to worry about that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyways, so after that bus tour, Kuda Kanon Nong-sama wrote on her blog that she was very happy with the event, with the bus tour, but that she also would like to try to see if it's possible or interesting to see if there's event that would be for guys only
Yes,
or male
please.
for male fans. Yeah,
Okay, hold on just a second.
yeah.
Aren't pretty much all events guy only anyway?
No, there's a lot of
There's
fan girls.
well, I mean, like all the Hello Girls just keep saying this past year how the number of female fans has gone up.
Yeah,
So
Okay, fair enough.
yeah,
yeah. Maybe. Well, why else would they have a girl only event, right?
yeah.
It's not enough
Yeah, okay, makes
fan
sense.
girls.
For release events too, they do have like 2 out of the 3 are guy or regular, but then the third one will be like girl only as well.
Yeah,
So there's definitely girls there to support them.
so yeah, so not to be gender biased,
But yes, please, guy only.
guy only event.
Yes.
And also if you watched actually on Satoyama Live, Elipong also mentioned that be cool to have guy only events. So same thing as what Kanon said.
I mean, it's pretty interesting that they say that. They're probably just trying to like not make us feel as bad.
We already do
Yeah.
after watching what they did on the bus tour.
I know
Yeah,
they got to be so close to the girls, and like they even, like they were eating together or something. Like when they were picking out stuff in the fields, like eating
Yeah.
the raw stuff. Like that's pretty awesome.
yes, please.
Yes,
Guy only
please.
events. Yeah,
I'll eat strawberries with Kanan.
yeah. So so on Nissan, a couple of the otas, they thought of what if this was possible for only events, what kind of events would people would want to go, like, well, instead of just like a Satoyama like farming event.
Right.
So there was one smart fan that made up a bunch of tour ideas. So he got see, with Ayacho, go to art museum.
That's like the Ikubo event.
Yeah, equal. Yeah.
I'll pass on that one.
Okay. With
Yeah,
Canon, yeah, basically yeah, Ota event with Canon.
Yes, sign me up for that one. Like 5
Yeah.
times.
5 times I will loop it.
Yes, I will loop the event.
Okay. With Canada, go to the zoo, cause gorillas.
Because Gorilla,
Yes.
I might do that
go-
if I have free time.
Yeah. Go play baseball with Take-chan.
I'll pass.
Yeah. After school activities with Lina Fu is not what you think.
Sign me up for that one. 5 times also.
She must mean those after school club events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like hanging around talking in the classroom or something.
Yeah, those kind of things. And with Mei Mei, go watch Takaratsuka together.
Well,
Which
I
is-
wouldn't mind
yeah.
that, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's okay, but we want to watch a bunch of
I think
Girls,
it would have to
so-
depend on what we're
Yeah.
watching.
What show it is at
Yeah.
that moment, I guess.
Because they have some weird stories out there.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have any of your own ideas on what kind of guys only event?
I got one.
Yeah?
I wouldn't mind playing mini golf with ID.
That's a good
That-
one.
That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
It should be Ali and Eddie Pong.
Well, I wouldn't mind that either, but I'd rather have ID alone.
Oh, they should. Well, they can do teams. Like ID is a team captain for one, and Eddie Poen.
Oh yeah, sure. That
Ali's
would-
team will lose.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I wanted.
Oh man, pro golfers.
Special guest, Ali's dad.
Yeah.
That's cheating.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, that is cheating.
Yeah. I've got
Any-
a couple.
Yeah?
One. Okay, so I want to see like, Aika give a cooking lesson to a bunch of guys, like something you can make at home.
I'd do that.
Yeah.
I like cooking, so I'd
yeah,
do that.
that'd be kind of cool. Plus, you get free food from Aika. That's like awesome.
Definitely. Yeah, that's even better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else?
Yes. Okay. So, a couple of weeks ago or months ago on Fusuma when Momusu was on. They did like a spicy food eating challenge. I want
Right.
to see that, like a team of however many
Otas.
Hello Girls versus team of Otas. Like, and when I thought about this, like the team captain I had in mind would be Riho versus whoever, a bunch of Otas, because apparently she can handle her spice. I want to
Yeah.
see. I want to see how legit that is. Like,
But then, the Otas would lose on purpose anyway, so.
yeah, that's true.
So true.
That's true.
So I would
Although I
rather,
would.
yeah, I'd rather like the girls be team captains and then have the otas assigned to the teams
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that.
probably.
instead
then,
of the
like,
fans against the idols.
Then all the guys would just be like, yeah, I'll pass. You can eat everything.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Mm. I would actually like to see an actual karaoke event with Lena, not the ones they already had for her birthday. That was so
Lame.
not good. Lame. Yeah, lame would be a good word to use. Like actual karaoke.
So
Not
like
just-
actual fans singing.
Well, they can book like the biggest karaoke place they can find, and then have like the biggest party room.
They're pretty awesome, actually.
Not like at a hall.
Yeah. I mean, but I think like all the fans would be too shy to sing.
I don't think so. There
Really?
were a lot of people who wanted to
Yeah.
sing at that Lena's birthday event.
But then, like, no
Did-
one didn't she ask and no one.
No, they wanted to.
Oh really?
Well, I guess they were prepared that time. But
Oh, everyone's got like their golden bomber mode on.
yeah, yeah. So like a real karaoke.
That'd be kind of cool. You
yeah.
mean like a battle with all the scores and everything?
Yeah, use the actual machines.
Use the actual machine. Okay.
and all that. Yeah,
Like
not
book
just
the biggest room at Joy Sound or something.
yeah. Or she can do it like in sessions.
Sections.
Yeah, like how they have free release events in the day. She can have free karaoke sessions with different groups of
Oh,
otas.
okay. Yeah, I would totally go to that.
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, or we can actually. You know how Lena band hasn't even started yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are a lot of otas out there that knows how to play instruments, which is
So it'd be like Ota band.
ota band. Yeah, why not?
Wow.
Ota band
Oh,
event.
shit.
That'd be awesome.
I don't think Rita would like that.
Bunch of old guys with guitars.
Yeah, right. They're all like bald and fat.
Yeah,
They're all wearing blue shirts.
and then we can have Makoto show up for drums.
And then
Special
Machan
guest.
for piano.
Yeah, Machan piano. Right.
Yeah.
So,
Any last ideas for this? No.
Yes.
If any of you listeners out there have any good ideas for a guy-only Satoyama event, or
not Satoyama. Doesn't have to be Satoyama.
well, okay, for any guy-only event, then for Hello Project, drop it down in the comment section or
below.
yes, below. You can't see us, but we're pointing down.
We're
like they
pointing our
do-
fingers down the
yeah,
floor.
like on all the TV shows.
Yep.
But yes, or also any comments on any of the previous 3 topics, drop a note down in the comments. Hope you guys have enjoyed listening to this episode. Some of the topics are old, but hopefully you still had some fun out of them. I know we did. Not sure when our next episode will be again, but hopefully it won't be too long in between like last time. We're working on it, but we're pretty busy, so until next time, this was Bex, Turbos86, and S. Ferris. Thanks for listening.